Hello. Yeah, we're recording. Okay, this is Jim 12. This is Monday, the 9th of April. It is 7:45 p.m. and we are in EDU540, otherwise known as Learning and Teaching Theory and Practice. So I've shared a screen with you, and I'm hoping that was somebody coming through. And let me just have a look at my notes to see if it is. No, it was just me reiterating the invite. Love to see you. I hope you come on board soon. Anyway, where was I? So we were having a chat about EDU540, and I think if you've not seen the work of Doug Lemov, 2012 or 2010, then please do. There's some excellent material there. I strongly encourage you to get into that. Also, Universal Design for Learning, I highly recommend that. Now, you've already submitted comparative literature review, and I'm sorry I haven't had a chance to chat to you yet about this. Anyway, I'm looking forward to getting to your work as soon as I can. Key thing there is that I hope you engage with three major educational thinkers that have challenged your teaching. So that's all good. Can't spend much time there. So the next assignment is due 13th of May, and it's a unit of work and reflection, 30%, 1,800 words. Select a cross-curricular teaching module. Now, for those of you who are doing secondary, that's maybe going to be a challenge. Hello. And bottom left of your screen, there might be a camera that's crossed out. So click on the camera. Tilty. So bottom left, you should find the camera. Here she is again. Ah, you're back. Hello. Is your microphone on? Bottom left. Yeah?
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm glad you're back. Okay, so it's just you and me, Tulsi.
Yes, ma'am.
Never mind. Can you see the screen that I'm looking at?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. Now, I'm just talking to you about the unit of work and reflection.
Yes.
Due in the middle of May.
Yeah.
It says select. So let me just talk about this, and then you can ask me anything you like.
Yeah.
The way, I think, probably by way of introduction, this whole subject is learning, teaching, theory, and practice. It's a development of EDU540 S1. Yeah. So if you want to go back to EDU540 S1, that's probably a good foundation place to start. Okay. Maybe look through some of the PowerPoints. That's foundation. This is the next chapter, if you like. All right. So it's, they're very, very similar style of subject. Yeah. So the unit of work and reflection. Select a cross-curricular teaching module different to assignment 2. And notice the order is somewhat different. So, you've got to do some different work. Cross-curricular means you've got to cover more than one KLA. Now, that might be quite normal for a primary school teacher, but more of a challenge for high school, although it can still happen. Okay. You've got to specify the stage. You've got to specify the setting. So you can't just assume that I know where you're writing for. So stage 3, stage 4, stage 2, whatever it is. Plan the learning and teaching for a 5-week period of 2 lessons per week.
Yeah.
Incorporating at least a rationale, a syllabus outcomes, learning and teaching strategies, assessment, contents, resources, which address specific learning needs across the full range of abilities. So that sentence there is basically saying you've got to write a 5-week unit of work.
Okay.
Based on 2 lessons per week. So go to the EDInfo page, you'll find examples of units of work. You have to do units of work for many subjects. So that's what it's basically a plan. So think of tables, think of landscape, think of setting out the unit of work. Google unit of work, find out what they look like. There's no right and wrong answer. You've got to do a unit of work that spans 5 weeks. It must include assessment strategies, including informal and formal, formative and summative approaches to assessment, and evidence of modification of the learning assessments as the lesson progress needs to be annotated. So in other words, you've got to show that you can modify the learning and assessment as you go through the whole thing. So it would need a spot on this document that allows you to modify work. Firstly, justify your design in the light of some of the major thinkers. How students learn, 21st century educational opportunities, and the necessity to embed language, literacy, and numeracy in your teaching in the content areas. So your reflection, which is a written piece after the unit of work, is a justification for the design. So written your table in landscape with all the columns of content, of teaching strategies, of assessment, of resources, different columns, and then you've got ordinary text, a bit like a mini essay, where it's probably a page, no more, that you justify, you write an explanation as to why you've written the unit of work in the way you have. And try and reference educational thinkers that you might have come across in the previous assignment, as to why you've set it up in the way you have. For example, you might have an educational thinker who's got you thinking about discovery learning. You might love discovery learning, in which case the assignments and the exercises are going to have the heading discovery learning. But you might not like that. You might have another approach, in which case you write your unit of work to reflect a different approach. So I've probably rambled enough. You ask me anything you like about the unit of work and reflection.
I want to know, like, we have to submit the lesson plans individually, separately, and then
no,
separately.
No, it doesn't say that. Plan the learning and teaching for 5 weeks of at least 2 lessons per week. It doesn't. I can't see anywhere that it says you have to submit the lesson plans.
Okay, so we just have to plan lessons for
No. You have to plan a unit of work.
The unit of work.
Which isn't lesson plans.
Yeah.
It's the design of a theme of a subject, and it's got to be a cross-curricular theme.
Okay.
So it could be geography and maths, or geography and science.
All right.
Something like that.
And Chen, the word limit is 1800. Will the unit of work unit of work will for 2 weeks can be included in 1800? I'm just wondering about that.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't even think about that. It's a
Okay.
small piece of work.
Yeah.
So my guess is that the plan, which should cover 5 weeks worth of work,
Okay.
10 lessons,
Okay.
um, that might be 2 or 3 sides
Okay.
in landscape.
Okay.
And this justification down here,
Yeah.
that might be a side.
Okay.
So in all, it might only be 4 pages.
4 pages.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not a big assignment, really.
Uh,
It's the whole point. I'm not looking for length. I'm
yeah.
looking for you, your ability to plan.
Yeah.
And the more exercises, the more opportunities you get of writing a unit of work, the better,
Yeah. Okay.
because you have to do it for so many subjects.
Yeah.
This is giving you another opportunity.
Okay. Um, the another thing which I want to know, like the lesson plans, do we have to, like the lesson units, we have to include in the same reflection, like in the appendix or something, or just like there is should be a summary of those unit of works?
Um, I would say again, you're not writing lesson plans.
Yeah.
You're writing a unit of work,
Yeah.
which from which, if you had to, you would write the lesson plan.
Okay.
So it's more of a higher level document,
Okay.
the unit of work. So do some research on what a unit of work is,
Okay.
and make sure you're doing that rather than lesson plans.
Sure.
Um, what have you got? So basically, the reflection is this last paragraph here. Finally, justify your design
Yeah.
in the light of some major thinkers. So I would, maybe a good place to start would be um, instructional design.
Okay.
So have a look at that link,
Yeah.
which takes you to this page here, learning theories.
Yeah.
Which of those do you like?
Yeah.
And then read up on some of them, a couple
Okay.
of them, maybe 2, 3. Which of those do you like?
Yeah.
And once you've decided on some um, instructional design theories,
Yeah.
you can then drop down to writing a unit of work
Yeah.
which reflects some of the educational thinkers that you like. So what my advice to you is try not to be too clever, just make it simple. Work out what a unit of work looks like,
Yeah.
draw one up in table form,
Mm-hmm.
and then um, see if you can reflect the way that educational thinkers write about it. So I think another good place to start, if you're not that familiar with units of work, would be, if I can take you here, go to EdInfo page,
Add in.
EdInfo,
Yep.
education student page, and under here, you'll find underneath this photo of me, you should find, um, here we are. This is a an example of a unit of work,
Yeah.
which you find on the Ed information page. So what I've done on this page is I've gone through a unit of work
Okay.
to show you what it looks like. So every unit of work should have a title, and
Okay.
these are my notes on it. It should have a summary. It should have links to curriculum. Now, this particular example links to human society and the environment, science and technology, and English. So therefore, it's a cross-curricular unit of work
Okay.
because it crosses the curriculum. Who's it for? Stage 3.
Yeah.
How long for?
Stage.
12 lots of 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And you've got to do 5 weeks, two lessons.
Okay.
So you've got to do, what's that? Doesn't matter how long you've got to, maybe they're half-hour lessons or 45-minute lessons. So put in some idea.
Okay.
Then you've got the standards and syllabus outcomes, which you copy and paste from NESA, from the syllabus documents.
Okay.
Then these are questions you would write yourself. What questions would you like to go for? You've got a section on assessment.
Okay.
And anything students would need to know beforehand.
Yeah.
Section on teaching strategies, and the biggest of all, learning and teaching activities. And that's where they've got a little bit of a section on specialization for learning needs, what resources you might need, references, and that's a unit of work. That's a long one. It wouldn't need to be anything like as long as that. But see what you can do.
Yeah.
And that's a good place to start.
Yes.
Okay. Now back to our subject. Now we're going to have another Zoom because I need to talk about the other assignment.
Yeah.
But for now, where are we? EDU540. That's the one. So, oh, I've gone to the wrong year. Silly me. So 540.
It's little, yeah.
There it is, up there. Yeah. So that's what you need to focus on in the next couple of weeks. And we will talk, and we'll have another Zoom and talk about the interactive teaching module another time. Okay? But Tulsi, since you live in Parramatta, you should probably come in.
Yeah, I can come in. I was thinking today, like you will be like doing the Zoom session at college, but then I got your invitation on phone, so I turned on my laptop at the same time. I was getting ready for the college, and I didn't notice that. Like,
yeah. But look, this particular week is really hectic. But can you make sure that we do fix a time?
yeah, sure.
In the next fortnight, we must meet.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I'll come there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, I better close this now because time has gone.
Yeah.
I hope that's been some help to you and anyone else who's watching.
Yeah.
Please use the news forum.
Yeah.
For any comments or questions. That's the best place. And don't leave it to the last minute before you do your assignments.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye for now.